All right, y'all. Our cowhide was dry. Not dry all the way. It still had some moisture to it, but it finally got dry. And we put it in the fur tumbler. And so I use corn as a media. And I've got the motor. This is homemade right here. And this is what I use to soften my cowhides. I've done it by hand, and it's a lot of work. But basically, I don't use a frame on these cowhides. I just, that thing is loud. Even when I broke them by hand, I quit putting cowhides on frames. Because it's just easier to pick it up, throw it down, really be rough with it. Like, I mean, I'd pick them up and throw them down, and flip them and throw them and flipping them and throwing them, because they got a thick hide. So anyway, for me, nowadays, I put a cowhide in here. I'm actually working on 2 cowhides at the same time right now, and it would wear you plumb out to try to break them without this thing right here. So I leave my cowhides in here for 30 minutes, and then I pull them out, let them dry a little bit, apply more oil, and throw them back in here until they're totally dry. And 9 times out of 10, if you think they're dry, they're not. So just keep on, if you're breaking it by hand, just keep breaking it. I'll tell you, if y'all want a video of how to break a cowhide by hand, I will make one. And I plan on doing some brain tanning and some egg yolk tanning, bark tanning on various hides throughout this channel. So, the fur tumbler, it might seem like cheating, but keep in mind that I have a little small business with this little setup I have, and I'm trying to let it grow. So having machinery and equipment to help me out, it's a must. So, and this tumbler is going to get it softer than I ever could breaking it by hand. So it's a must. If you're trying to make money off of this stuff, you need a fur tumbler, because that's how you're going to get that quality product. And there's still more equipment that I need. I just don't have it yet. But I do have a fur tumbler and a couple other things. So anyway, after your oil soaks in and it begins to dry, go ahead and just start picking it up, throwing it around. That's all you can do. Stretch out the edges by hand, and I'll show you what this thing looks like after 30 minutes of being in this tumbler. All right, so far, this is what we got. Now, I don't know what it looks like for y'all, but what it looks like on my screen, the coloring is really emphasized on the screen. But some spots are more broke than others. Like these spots here are the thinner areas. And then right there, it's a little bit thicker up in there, okay? And then the darker areas like over there, they're more broke, they're thinner. So anyhow, it still has quite a bit of moisture in it. You can see where it's starting to break on the parts that were dry. And so, what you just want to do is, as long as it's wet, you're not really doing anything, but as it dries, pick it up and just throw it around. I mean, literally pick it up, throw it in the air and let it fall on itself. It weighs a lot. So we're not done yet, but we're gonna let it dry for maybe like an hour, let parts of it dry. We'll come out here and tug on these edges. I only got one hand right now, but tug on these edges, these arms right here especially, anything coming off like this, them feet and stuff. Get on the hide and just start stretching it out. Just because what it's going to try to do is shrink up as it dries. Just make sure that it stays opened up, and allow it to dry, and keep things, the thin areas, kind of moving by hand. Just come check on it periodically within an hour, and then try it again. So basically every hour, just pick it up and throw it around. That's what my tumbler is doing. So that's the idea that I had when I was breaking hides by hand. Is a fur tumbler will just pick it up and throw it over and over and over again. So that's what I did, and it works. It will soften them. I've even tied them up and thrown a piece of paracord over a tree branch and picked them up and dropped them repeatedly, over and over and over. That works too. The stitching held up in the tumbler, so that's pretty good. That almost looks like a baseball stitch right there. So, not bad. Still got some other holes to sew up. I'm about to probably get on that. But anyway, guys, that's what we got so far. All right, y'all, the hide, I let it dry a little bit after I put it in the tumbler on my first attempt to break it. And now I've applied another small coat of oil, and we'll let this sit and you know, just get it on those edges pretty good. And you know, you might think, well, this is just rehydrating it, but this right here is how you're gonna get it soft, is getting that oil on there again. This is the second coat. Hopefully it'll be the last one. So we'll see. This right here is actually a pretty thin cowhide, so hopefully this is the last coat right here, and we're gonna end up throwing it back into the tumbler. All right.